Hello, everybody. Welcome to Perspective. We're back again on this Thursday night at 8:30, and as we do always, we just like to talk about what our platform is really based on, and it's right there in the name. This is about perspectives, different opinions, different points of views. We all have different lived experiences, so we all have some type of knowledge to bring to the table, and we feel like when we do that as a collective with thick skin and with some respect that we all can learn and become better as a community and as individuals. So with that, tonight's topic and subject matter is going to be over jealousy. Is it love or insecurity? Or maybe we can find out about it being something else. So myself, Doc, Miss Latoya Carter, Key Lolo, Miss Keisha Walker, we're going to kind of talk about this. We definitely invite the feedback from our viewers. We appreciate you being here, and we'll get started. So let's get into it, and we'll start with my favorite co-host. Joking, I'm just joking.
I was about to say, what would you like for me to say? And I'm just kidding.
And you know what? I knew. I was like, I know he gonna go to Toya, so I didn't even problem with it. So go ahead on, girl.
No, so what I'll do to kind of get myself out of this net that I done put myself in, I'm just gonna throw it out. So whoever has some really hot feelings on jealousy, I just turn it over to either one of my co-hosts. Y'all go right ahead.
What you think, Key?
Oh, now how you gonna put me on the spot like that? I was actually gonna do you the same way. Well, good evening, everybody. Well, I really don't know. It's a good topic. I do know that, but I think jealousy is definitely insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you doing what you're supposed to be doing and you putting it down, good and proper, like, then you shouldn't be worried about what nobody else thinks, or whether or not your lady or your dude can get stolen. I mean, like, are you doing your part? And if you're not, then like jealousy is what, like, it'll kill you. It's to the grave. So, like, why would you be jealous of something that you don't even know anything about? So I think it is a form of insecurity.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's a form of insecurity, but I also think the other part of that is that there may be a lack of trust. Because it's easy for me to get jealous if I see you doing something if I don't necessarily trust you. And then you also said if you putting it down like you're supposed to, I don't know. I feel like people, if somebody wants to cheat on you, and I know we talked about this last week, but if somebody want to cheat on you, they're gonna cheat on you whether you on top of them, up under them, crossed up with them. They're gonna do what they want to do anyway. So I don't know if it has anything to do with like holding it down in the bedroom. I think it's insecurity and a lack of trust.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry, Eric. I know.
Okay, yeah, go.
I beg to differ on that a little bit. Now the whole trust part. Hey, Pastor God, yeah, I love this man. But the whole trusting part, I don't think that plays a part in it. I just think it's just you just insecure. You're not comfortable with yourself or whatever. I don't know, but Eric, let's just throw it back on you. But I honestly don't think that it has anything to do with trust.
I think the lack of trust definitely comes into play. It may not be the most pointed thing to highlight, but before we go further, I'll do this. So we'll have at least a fundamental, a foundational platform to throw off of. So if you read the definition of jealousy, it reads as an emotional reaction activated by the actual or anticipated interest in another person by someone we care about. So trust is definitely in there because do you not trust that your person won't engage or they won't adhere to the advances of someone else, and you feel like that you can lose them, right? So we can definitely say that jealousy deals with emotion. It definitely deals with internal. I think a lack of internal or emotional maturity at a certain level. But it could be caused by some other things. Now, I think, jealousy is like anything else. I think there's a place for everything, properly placed and balanced, right? So, jealousy could definitely be viewed as love because, if you have, and I think it's rooted more in fear than anything, because when you're afraid of losing something that you really care about, or maybe something you really invested in, if something else comes and threatens that in your mind, as the definition said, it could be an actual or an anticipated thought that something is going to happen. Then I think jealousy is the emotional byproduct of being afraid of loss in some capacity.
You saying emotional and everything, but do y'all believe that, like H Town said back in the day, emotion makes you sad sometimes? Emotion make you glad sometimes. It make you fall in love too. Y'all believe it? Make you fall in love. Sorry,
you better hit your note.
But I just had to throw that. I'm sorry, you made me.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be good unless we get a couple of notes. You know what I'm saying?
Already. But
yeah. So I think we have not. I don't know why I said I think, but we definitely have some questions that we're going to kind of utilize to kind of guide our discussion.
Like that, Grace.
Say again.
Grace said, "LOL." I was asking, did she like that song that I had for the people? Hi, Facebook user.
Yeah, so I think we may have touched on, our perspective on some of the questions like, what is the root cause of jealousy, right? So
fear and insecurity.
I said fear is one. Now Kilolo said she doesn't believe it's really tied to the emotions per se. And Doc, you said from
fear, insecurity, and lack of trust.
And lack of trust. Mm-hmm. So now here's a question that was posed when this topic was brought up. And so it might be a flat answer, but we might can dig into a little bit. But can jealousy lead to the grave?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think
I love true crime, right? So that's what I watch. I watch investigative Discovery Channel, like that's my jam. So yes, jealousy can lead to the grave. People will really kill you if they jealous and they think you're doing something. That's why y'all shouldn't cheat on people, because people die.
Or put it down real good. You can't just be laying up with everybody. You can't be the loose, coochie having girl. So you can't just go putting it down on everybody because because baby, what we got ain't no knick-knack, honey, sis. So men be killing folk behind this good stuff. So I'm just saying.
Okay. Now,
and the scary thing about jealousy is in the definition. It said it's a perceived threat. So you can get killed and somebody just think that you're doing something.
Exactly.
You're like, I ain't even done nothing. What's up with all of this? You know what I'm saying? So that's a key element. So I don't think that was a difficult question to answer.
No,
you got a consensus on that. So can jealousy?
Yes.
Can jealousy make you do crazy things?
Yes.
I feel like we said yes already. And what's crazier than killing somebody?
But here's what.
Sitting outside their food.
Let's back off of the it's a spectrum, correct? So of course, so we know that killing it can definitely make you do crazy things.
Right.
But let's level set on some crazy things that that jealousy, or what crazy things have you, I'll pose it to my co-host or even to the group. What crazy things have you encountered that was based off of someone's jealousy? Like, you ain't done nothing, so don't be telling on yourselves on here. You ain't done nothing, but what are some crazy things that you've seen or heard that was caused because a significant other or potential significant other was jealous?
well, I'll go first. Since all the silence, I figured, that y'all want me to go first. So there was one time, right? This dude called his homie, put sugar in the gas tank. Wow. Called his homie to call me. So to try, I guess, like talk to me or something. And then he showed up outside my house. Like he thought that I was going to invite the friend that he had called me over. And then when I looked outside, there was a whole red Cadillac parked outside. Like, Negro, I know who car that is, and he was just circling my place, and he could have been looking for the friend, he could have been looking for somebody else, but you know what they say though, if you're not doing what you're supposed to do and that whole jealousy thing kicks in, her conversation could be getting longer with somebody else. It could be God or it could be Rod, but her conversation getting longer with somebody else. So like I told him, what did you do? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm, why would you even think that I'm seeing somebody else? You know what I mean? And furthermore, I don't like you. So, it was just, I think he knew that, I wasn't feeling him. So I don't even know why he was even jealous or thinking that he could find something, something on me. I don't know. But that was something that happened to me. But as far as me being jealous, no. Never done that.
Okay.
So I think the craziest thing that I've experienced a long time ago in my past life was somebody riding like up and down my street. Like I wasn't answering the phone. And so, but I saw them driving up and down my street, I guess trying to figure out who was at my house or what I was doing. I wasn't doing it.
And you made me think of another thing. I'm sorry, Eric, but I'm sorry. You may not get no comments on this one. I'm sorry. But it was that dude that I knew that was driving his 18-wheeler, right? And I was outside talking to me, and my daughter was outside talking. And this fool dropped his trailer, I guess, and pulled up in like the little bitty, whatever you call the little front end of the truck. And he shot up so fast and hit the brakes, and he just jumped out and walked up to me like, he saw somebody, or like he was right. And, since we on the WWW, I can't say what I said, but it was more along the lines of, what the you doing? Like, what you thinking? Why are you over here?
Right.
But, he figured that I was going to have somebody over and he was going to catch me wrong. We ain't even together. So, I'm sorry, Eric, as you were saying.
No, I wasn't. But this is what I like to do. I definitely want to. We had some answers from the viewers. I definitely want to make sure we hit those.
Pastor
James God said, breaking our car windows, slashing tires, choke
the slob
out somebody's mouth.
Mr. J. Gillian says, flattening someone's tires. Okay. James Dye said, putting sugar in a gas tank. Yeah, I'm offended for him because that's an expensive action right there. And then Grace says that there's healthy jealousy too.
What about Grace?
I think I agree with that a little bit. So here's why I think jealousy in small doses could be healthy. If you feel, because back to the definition is like a perceived threat, right? But if you feel that, then that should make you, or might make you, get on your toes and put it down a little bit better than what you've been doing. And it goes back to what you were saying, Key. Like, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, you shouldn't have to worry about it. So it could be healthy in the sense that it highlights what's missing and gets you back in the groove, get the fire burning again. So maybe it could be healthy in small doses.
I think
sometimes that spark be done went out. I'm sorry, that spark is gone. But I'm sorry, Eric. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying I can agree with that because how else do you a healthy dose of it can definitely, because if you care about something, you care about something, and you don't want anything bad to happen to it. So having a bit of affinity for a thing, my significant other, I'd want them to have an affinity for me, to see value in me. Then you already know. Now here's a kicker. I wouldn't want to be with someone who could be like, oh, I take it or leave it. You can come or go. I don't even care. That's going to be a strange feeling. So I think there's a tinge of it. We just don't want the like we said, the imbalance of jealousy, because I don't need windows busted out, I don't want the slobber choked out of me, and I don't want my tires slashed.
You said the slob.
That is one hell of a choking. But
baby, listen, that's serious business. God, I won't make you mad. I'm sorry. That was bad.
No, that's too much. So, and I think another question we had was, and it kind of ties into there's some positive jealousy. Is jealousy really a sign of affection? Because I think some would argue no, some would argue yes. But is jealousy a sign of affection?
I don't think so. I think jealousy is a sign of insecurity or a sign of, I just don't think it's affectionate to be jealous. And then I don't want you to be affectionate to me out of jealousy. I want you to be affectionate to me because that's what you want to do. I don't want you to do it because you scared that, oh, somebody else gonna do it. I wouldn't want that. So I would say no.
Okay. So
what say you?
Well, I think my last answer kind of pointed to it that it can be a sign of affection. I think everything there's a time and place for everything, and so I think sometimes you may be like, hey, I'll say this: I'm not a jealous man, and I was married once, and my wife was very beautiful and attractive. So she garnered a lot of attention in that way. However, I anticipated and expected it, so that didn't move me. Now, was I jealous or not? I'll let you all be the judge. So we're out on the night on the town. So we hit up two different spots. The first spot, she was being eyed. The gentleman who was showing some attention to my wife at the time, he sees me come there. It was one of those walking right up at the right time. And he said, "Oh, that's you?" I was like, "Yeah, that's my wife." He was like, "Man, you a lucky man." I say, "Yes, I am. I appreciate it." And went on about my night. Go to the second spot. The small town, so everybody went to the after hours. I'll just put it that way to make sense. So the night is over. I'm leaving. He approaches her again. And she, does like she's supposed to do, because I'm going to get the car and pull the car around. So she doesn't have to walk so far. So the way it's all set up where I'm parked, I can see the front of the club. I can see the street, the cars, people filing out. I have a perfect view. It's like watching a game. It was like watching a movie script go down. So she's walking out. You can tell her like looking like, okay, I need him to come on because this dude will not chill. Now he didn't got in his car. I can see him pulling. He drives. He stops in front of her to try to holler at her. She walks down the road to get away from him. He goes circles and comes back. So by this time, she knows where the car is. So I'm just going to watch it play out. One, to keep my eye on him, keep my eye on her, because she's walking towards me now. This guy doesn't know that I'm there, which is the beauty of it. That's why I seen Doc's face. She was like, "You just gonna let her stay in danger?" No,
Okay.
she was safe the whole time, I promise. So as she gets to the car, he's trying to pull up and catch her again. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to catch him. Because see, at that point, we have to have a conversation. So I tried to get him to get out the car. People around wouldn't allow me to get him out the car. Because at that point, and I think this is the key to the difference between jealousy, but y'all let me know. You being disrespectful to me now.
Exactly.
You're being disrespectful to my wife. And
to her first, to you second.
It just can't, to our union, you just can't do that.
No.
You just can't do that. So, I think, I know what kind of show we got and what kind of followers, but an ass whooping was due.
Well, absolutely. That's what Grace said. Grace said, beat his ass.
Beat his ass. Yeah. With a whole bunch of asses.
Yeah. Now, it was too many people. I tried to be quiet, but, you know, it was, you know, people was around and they wouldn't allow it to happen. And my wife was really the, you know, that was the voice of reason. And she says, I do not want you to do this. I don't want you to go to jail. We good now. Let's go. So I abated to that. But I mean, I may have touched him a little bit, but I think a lesson was learned. So it wasn't that I was jealous. You know, I think it was, you know, I think the jealousy can be confused. Something like, man, he's really jealous, but it may be a sense of I'm not going to allow the disrespect to my wife or my husband or our union or myself. And I think that can many times get confused with jealousy.
I think from the outside looking in, like if the person hadn't saw that he approached her when y'all were in the first spot and then he kept circling the block, from the outside looking in, sure, that can appear to be like jealousy, but we don't care what it looked like from the outside because we got to protect the inside. So I'm team, you should have put them hands on him. But, you know, stay out of jail, whatever.
Yeah, I put my hands on him. I didn't do what I would have done.
1 to 10, you know, all that stuff I'm supposed to say.
Yeah, because I would go to a whole nother level. Like, I'm taking your car, the money out your pocket, your keys. It all belongs to me now because you crossed the line. Because I was nice. I was nice before. And you know, I'm gonna be honest, I was bothered because you could see, and I hated the look on her face. Because it was just like, why is he doing this? He approached her in the club, outside the club, you following her. I was like, nah, that's you need that. You a predator. No, so
at that point, yeah.
So not to get off our topic of subjects of jealousy, off the subject of jealousy. So what should you do about, let's say if you're the jealous type, what should you do about being a jealous person?
You mean like how to not be jealous?
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything you can do to make yourself not be jealous. Sometimes that's just something that's in you.
I think that there is a couple of things that you can do. I think it's a process though. I don't think there's like jump up and down 3 times and you're not going to be jealous anymore. I don't think it's like that, but I think working on your insecurity is one way to help you not be jealous. Like you got to be self-aware. You got to figure out, okay, when this person does this makes me feel insecure. So what is it about this action that I'm lacking? What do I perceive to be lacking? What's going on with me? So some kind of like self-esteem building situation would be helpful. I also think practicing mindfulness is helpful with jealousy. So mindfulness just means like be present in the moment. A lot of times when we're jealous, we are trying to predict the future. We're thinking about what they're going to do. Well, what happened if they go outside and they see somebody better than me? That type of thing. But if you stay in the present, you don't have time to worry about what they're going to do tomorrow when they go outside. So I think those are some things that you can do, but it's not instant.
No, that's not an instant thing at all.
That's so beautiful, Toya, how you just put that. Girl, that was beautiful. That was heartwarming. I mean, I got butterflies hearing you talk about that, but oh my God, realistically speaking, child, please. I mean, not knocking what you just said, but girl, okay. Some of these folks, they're not gonna do that. All this self-awareness and talking to themselves and all this stuff. Some people just crazy and they want to act like that, and that's what they're going to do. I'm thankful that I'm not that type, but I've seen that, happen. And then, and I had this one ex crazy. Now, I'm not going to say jealous, but that thing was just like no nonsense. We were in the grocery store. And I used to work at this city job, and this older guy saw us in the store. This old man, he walked up to my ex and said, "This your wife?" Like Eric said, and he was like, "Yeah, man, you got you a good looking woman." He said, "I know." Now, mind you, he crazy, but we walked off. This man followed us in the meat department. I'll never forget. We was in Tom Thumb in Duncanville. Followed us in the meat department and kept talking. And next thing I know, my dude turned around and just snatched this man up right in the middle of the grocery store. Like, It was something I'd never seen in my life. I'm like, oh no, let him down, let him down. And then he was like, you taking up for this dude? I'm like, no, just I don't want you to go to jail. So it was like, if I would say, don't do this, you know, like Eric was saying, like he didn't like the look on his wife, but he understood that she didn't want him to go to jail. Right. But if I came to the defense of, you know, the dude that he beating the hell out of, excuse me, man, you like this dude? You seeing this dude? I'm like, nah, you know what? Something got to give. I got to get away because I know my crazy and your crazy just won't mesh. So let me just walk away. So like, what about situations like that? You know what I mean? Is that something that you run away from? You know what I mean? That type of dude that you said finna call the cops and he pick up the phone down 911. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you do in a situation like that?
So for me, that's a red flag. Mm-hmm. For me.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, and I know my husband told me sometimes a snatch up is necessary.
You got that right, Miss Gilly.
But not all the time. He said, "Don't be afraid of jail. It's a 36-hour hold." Y'all, please. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
No, listen. I was going to tell, like Keisha, at this point, if you see now, I feel like you put him in a bad position because you already know how he is. Now you need to learn your mate. Now, if you know the man don't want to, if he gonna perceive you taking up for the guy, then you're supposed to just let him go and whoop him and go and do the 36-hour hold, and then everything will be okay. Then you talk to him and say, you know, I really don't like you being away.
He didn't understand that.
Listen, do you see how blatantly disrespectful the dude was?
So here's the thing. This is why it's a red flag for me. This is why it's a red flag for me. Just because I say, hey, don't be a psycho and go to jail, that mean I like him? You're crazy. Your logic is messed up. That's a red flag for me.
I don't.
But if you upset because I'm escalating the situation by yelling, because it don't matter what I'm saying. When people start yelling and people get emotionally activated, situations escalate, right? So if you're upset because the situation escalated, cool. But not because I said don't go to jail, put him down. No, your logic's off. Red flag.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The lifestyle says this sounds more like crazy versus jealousy, right? Yeah, that was something. That's a little bit much. Because I mean, to go from that emotion to I'm upset with this guy to what you taking up for this.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I mean, taking up for the guy, I'll give him that one. But you like him? Where that come?
No,
how you give him taking up for the guy? What's she doing taking up for him? What?
Because I'm like, say more about we in Tom Thumb, like we in
for him to perceive that as you're taking up for the guy. You're not taking up for the guy. You're just saying, I don't want you to, I don't want you to
I don't want you to go to jail. And then too, they see you in jail, they see us together, they saw you bringing me flowers on Valentine's Day, they're gonna think we some kind of connection. I may lose my job. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm looking at it at the big picture.
Right.
So but no, we don't do that crazy stuff. But he did teach me how to fight though.
Your lifestyle says some people think jealous is a sign of love.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
Yeah, but I don't think it is. And I think I think that people can love you and be jealous. Yes, I think those two things can exist in the same space. But I don't think that jealousy is a sign of love. That is a sign of your insecurity. And like you could like be crazy. Please don't be that jealous.
Yeah, I think jealousy.
If you are insecure or if you feel like, hey, you doing too much, say something. A lot of times people don't say anything. They just get jealous and it's like burning inside of them and then they explode. Mm-hmm. Like if you feel like I'm doing something, say something. You know what I mean? But to me, jealousy is not love.
Right. And I think jealousy, we talked about fear, but that's really a lack of self-esteem. You mentioned that earlier, Doc, and that really rung true to me. I'm like, yeah, lack of self-esteem. Like, because if you feel comfortable with yourself, I don't think whatever emotions of affection or protection, I would even say, a certain responsibility to protect what you have. I think that's natural. I think that's just natural. And that's healthy. I think you should have, that's healthy. But when you don't feel like you deserve the person you have or you lack something, So low self-esteem, I think, is the biggest culprit. And you talked, and you talked about it's not an overnight thing, but man, you gotta figure out, what it is that you are insecure about yourself, and then do some real damn work on being comfortable. You know what I mean? Because that's just that's a sad state of being to be in. Matter of fact, it makes me sad just to damn think about it.
Damn, think about it. But you know what though? That is true.
Somebody, now I feel bad for somebody who like that. It just
and that dude I was telling y'all about, because we were really good friends. The one that jumped out the 18-wheel, he's like 5'4", right? And he was trying to like me, but I told him, he didn't meet the height requirement, right? So then he said, I know I'm not tall enough. I know I'm not your type of guy, whatever, but I really like you. No, you crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I already told you, let's just continue to be cool. You know what I'm saying? Because, I didn't hide it. I'm like, dude, like, you got to be this tall to ride this ride. And he, you didn't. You didn't meet the height requirement, so you can't get mad. You don't get mad at your people for procreating and having you, little dude. But I'm just saying.
So we're kind of hitting jealousy on the point of, within a relationship. So what about the aspect of within the relationship, someone being jealous of their mate, not jealous about their mate, but jealous of their mate?
Yeah, they call it spousal jealousy or spousal envy or something. I think it's spousal envy.
So with all we've talked about with that, I mean, I guess, would that still apply? Is it driven from the same area or the same thing?
Yeah, it's literally the same thing. So like that's like so Jeff and I are married, right? And then I had a speaking engagement and Jeff didn't, and now he's upset. Or Jeff built his food truck and he get to live his life, and I don't have a food truck and now I'm upset. You know what I mean? It comes from that same place of like insecurity or a lack of self-esteem. I'm feeling bad about what I have because they seem to be excelling past me. It's the same thing.
Yeah. Mr. J. Gilliam said spousal envy. Kind of repeat.
Yeah, spousal envy.
Got like some pillow talking going on, but that's a whole different show.
Oh, stop it. What's it, girl? What's the pillow talk? You can tell me. We won't say it, Eric. Eric, close your ear.
Now we know some people who kind of struggle with that, and so he was asking me one time, like, is that like a thing? Like, what's the word? And so spousal envy.
No, man, Mr. Gilliard out there saving lives, one conversation at a time, too.
Hey,
do your part. It's going to spill over. It's going to spill over. You're going to get some of that spill over.
Mm-hmm. Play your part, bro. Play your part.
So jealousy is, we found out that it's definitely rooted in low self-esteem, insecurities. It can be fear, definitely. The fear. So what are the key that we talked about? Okay, you need to take some steps, or there needs to be some healing or some growth in that. And we kind of going to point this at Doc. Doc, what are specific? So you talked about it's not an overnight deal, right. But what are some beginning points or some directions people can go if they identify that, hey man, I do have a jealous streak, or I've identified now that I do have low self-esteem or some insecurities. What are some real tangible steps they could take?
Oh, you didn't want to ask me? You didn't think I could answer that question?
Go on, answer, Key. You got it.
I wasn't ready. Go ahead, Toy. I'm not listening.
So I think, okay, so I also want to add before I answer that question, I think as I'm thinking about it and we're talking about it, part of jealousy though, to me, it could be like a little possessive because you're seeing me as a possession to be jealous of, right? Like, let's talk about that.
So what's wrong with
I'm not a possession.
Yeah,
I'm a person.
What, Eric?
I was about to. I didn't want to bother nothing. Listen, if you're in a relationship and I'm responsible for you, because men will say that's me, that's mine. So what? You don't what? Come on now, stop, Doc.
But I think No,
stop it, Doc.
Hold on,
Let her finish.
Listen, hold on, listen.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm not yours, you're not mine. I'm saying if we get into the jealousy, when people are like, it's love, no, it's possessive. I'm not like it can also be controlling if you like really think about it. And you control possessions. That's all I'm saying.
Boom.
You know, that's my perspective.
Mm-hmm.
It's a safe place for me to share my perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm taking it. I'm just, it went down hard. That's all. It went down hard.
Yeah. I ain't no piece of nothing. I mean, I ain't no piece of furniture.
Right.
Jesse said that I am somebody.
Come on.
And I believe it.
And you are somebody.
You damn gum right. I am somebody. Everybody say it with me. I am somebody.
Somebody.
If you don't think you somebody, because you didn't say it.
I'm who, me? What's understood don't need to be explained.
Y'all are funny. Okay, so you at what's mine is yours and what's yours.
What's yours is mine. What's mine is mine and what's yours is mine.
What's mine is mine and what's yours is ours.
Boom. What's mine is mine and what's yours is mine.
See, I'm just going to say I think Mr. J. Gilliard was kind of just saying that's mine.
I am. You damn right. Oh, and that's my
boo. That's my boo. See what I'm saying? Thank you.
I knew you was gonna appreciate that comment. I knew
get that comment off here.
I knew you was gonna appreciate it.
Man, I'm just glad it's the truth. I'm just looking at it. Truth just all over the place. Truth just all over the place.
Okay, so the question was, once you identify that you're jealous or that you have low self-esteem, what are some steps that you can take? I think for the jealousy piece, I think you need to first acknowledge it, say it out loud, tell your person, hey, I'm jealous. Maybe y'all can talk about it. Maybe y'all can figure out, maybe this person's too flirtatious. Maybe they got something going on that's hitting you wrong. Okay, so you want to acknowledge that it's happening. Then I think you need to figure out where the root cause of your low self-esteem is. What narratives are you telling yourself? What, like when you grew up, did people call you ugly? Now you think you ugly. Like what's going on? Identify where it comes from so that you can challenge your negative beliefs so that you can dig deep into that and then figure out how to affirm yourself. Because ultimately, if you're full in you and you know who you are and you're affirming yourself and you solid in what you bring to the table or whatever, you'll be fine. Yeah. Because I promise you, people gonna cheat on you, whether you Halle Berry, Beyonce, it don't matter. They're gonna cheat if they want to cheat.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no point in being jealous. Like,
right. That's true.
Yeah, but I mean, and like you said, it just takes those steps. We can, of course, we're gonna say get therapy, but I think what I found about therapy is that it's really the root work that you do. They give you direction, definitely can open up your mind to a different view, give you an understanding of maybe a wider aspect of, what it is that's ailing you, especially if it's low self-esteem. And that's kind of ironic. Right now, it just hit my mind. Like, is that something you can go get therapy for? Like, I have low self-esteem, so I'm going to really.
Yeah. And so we can talk about, like, if you come to me and you got low self-esteem, first of all, I want to know why. Like, what's wrong with you? Because confidence comes from knowing and from doing. So what do you think you need to know? And what do you think you need to do to build up your confidence? We'll talk about it that way. I have people write out a list of things that they don't like about themselves. And like, can we afford to change them financially? Do we have time to change them through grit and hard work? Because this 2022, you can change your eye color. Like whatever it is you don't like about yourself, if you have enough money, you can change it. You know what I mean? So like we take it from that perspective. And then I like to work with people on their core beliefs. What are you telling yourself? What are you thinking? Because a lot of times people are walking around with thoughts of like, I'm not enough. I'm not going to accomplish this. I should be further. And we need to dig into all of that. Because when people tell me like, oh, I should be further along, according to whose timeline?
Now we talk. Yeah, I like that. That's some really applicable type of practices that you can take and do, on your own. So thanks for sharing that, Doc. But I mean, to really get it right, and you feel like this is something, or somebody you feel like can really benefit from that, then you can hit LaToya Carter.
You can go to
There you
LatoyaTheTherapist.com.
go. There you go. Absolutely.
She got a waiting list though, so price went up.
I mean, if y'all want it hard, straight to the point, and effective, then you can just
call me.
Butler.com.
Boom.
Okay.
If you want a straight, no chaser,
Key Lolo.
If you need results in one day, then you need to call Key Lolo. She'll get you straightened out in about 8 to 10 hours.
2 words. Damn straight.
We're joking on that last part. We're serious on the first part. Definitely call Toya.
No, call me, please.
Call and we can get things worked out there. Yeah. But it sounds like when we talk about jealousy, it seems like we're really talking about low self-esteem, self-awareness, personal perception. And that seems to be the root. Jealousy, I think, is just a byproduct of that being a core issue. So, and then we talked about having healthy jealousy. So maybe we shouldn't even call that jealousy. You know what I mean? What would we call that? If you are, since we can't be possessive, maybe we're just being protective.
Okay, I go with that.
I go with that too. I guess.
Man, I like it when I do it like that, Doc.
Man, please, I disagree.
I got two yeses, no rebuttals, no nothing. That's what we talking, man. I'm just telling you, I love it.
The girl got a chest stuck out. He think he did something.
Okay, it's some shoulders. He got his shoulders out.
Y'all not finna do that to me. I refuse. So here's the aspect of it that we talked about, addressing the low self-esteem, right? Doc gave us really good elements on, hey, these are tangible steps you should take, practices. If you didn't get them all, re-listen to this, or definitely contact LatoyaTheTherapist.com. Now, I've seen this.
Okay, what you see?
Where you see someone make that adjustment and they go from being maybe the self-esteem wasn't that high to now they're almost like a
can't get their head through the door.
No, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it takes on a narcissistic type of nature. So have y'all experienced anyone making that type of transformation? So in their attempts to get to a healthy place, they overshoot that spot, and then they didn't land it on narcissistic island.
And
I've seen that.
Yeah, it's like when you start dating somebody. I'm gonna say this: when you go ahead and start dating the ugly dude, and then they think because they got you, they can pull anybody, and then they start acting brand new and treating you like you the book wolf.
Oh,
baby boo. I put you on the map. You know what I'm saying? So. Like, I've seen situations like that before. I'm not gonna say it happened to me, but okay, maybe it did. But I've seen situations like that before where how you gonna flip the script and try to make me seem like I'm a boogwoo, baby? I'm somebody to have. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I was trying to help you out, but now you think you foxifying, So yeah, I've seen that happen before where the low self-esteem dude thought that he was she is Neil.
Now, did it become toxic? Did it become too much, or was it just the fact that he was he felt confident about himself? He started setting some boundaries. He
lost 1 or 2 pounds and thought he was sexy, and I had to bring him back to reality. Boo boo, you just one sandwich away from you know what I'm saying? Like, you just ate 1 or 2 salads.
So the man made 1 or 2 steps towards being healthy, emotionally healthy, and you snatched
him down.
Couldn't fit through the door. Then his head got big and he couldn't fit through the door. Oh, honey, no.
Why the door?
Wait a minute, hold on. Then you out there chasing tail and let some skirt tell you that you know what I'm saying, that you fine. No. Honey, don't forget why I found you. You know what I'm saying? Like, this level I brought you up to. You know what I'm saying? So let's not act brand new. So yeah, I had to remind his butt that, like, no, this ain't it. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm gonna need you to calm that thing.
I guess there could be, if you're disrespecting relationship and the person you've been with, you go, I don't know about taking no swipe, taking an axe at the tree, the little sapling trying to grow. I want to see you feel good about yourself. And you just like, man, where is the Roundup? Let me pull this. Let me pull this Roundup on the roots of this tree.
But you know what the jacked up part is about some men is that they have so much of what I like to call the audacity. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't forget where all this started from, boo boo. You know what I mean? Like, and then if I pick up 1 or 2 pounds now, I'm fat, I'm out of shape. Don't nobody want me, but then you lose 1 or 2, but then next thing you know, you pick up all your weight, and then the pounds that I lost, and I'm still supposed to be attracted to you while you sit up there with t-shirt riding on your stomach and a search thing running down your chest. Absolutely not, my friend.
Ooh.
Come look at me, look like you were looking when you were trying to pull Shay Shay up in here. I'm trying not to cuss, Jesus help me, but look like you was looking.
You can't cuss on here.
Yes, we can cuss on here.
I thought we could cuss on here.
I mean, I know we can, but I'm trying,
Oh, you just trying to get right? Okay, I feel you.
I'm trying to stop because
I'm gonna say wrong. If cussing is wrong, then I can't get right because cussing, I don't know what it is.
I love a good cuss word. It's like seasoning on the food.
Absolutely,
it's like Larry on some hot French fries. But I digress.
So let it ride. Let it ride. Coach.
But I mean, don't bring your ass in here smelling good like you was smelling of cool water when you try to pull Shay Shay.
She said cool water. Why she say cool water?
I'm just saying.
Why she say cool water? Why she say cool water?
And then you want to go buy some Axe when you trying to talk to me.
She said he went and bought some Axe. She was like, "Oh, he done got beside his damn
Axe.
You going on the real cologne aisles. That's
or some damn curves. Curves. Yes, I said cool water.
She said, "Oh, you graduate from drugstore colognes to now you trying to go in Walmart and get some real."
Yeah. Oh, child, please, you got the game all messed up. And then you gonna bring me your leftovers? No, baby. I knew you before. Before when your pants was hanging over your belt. You mean your stomach was hanging over your belt? And then now you got to put some holes in your belt because
maybe he wouldn't have done
1 or
that
2
if
pounds.
you would have complimented him on the weight loss.
Man,
right,
F him and that. Because that weight loss was just supposed to be for my eyes only, not for Shay Shay and them.
How you gonna hide the weight loss, Keisha?
Man, please. Don't be coming up here trying to bring nobody, but they ain't gonna tell me. They ain't gonna ask me if I wanted to be a part of a 3-way.
Wait.
I said, why would I be a part?
Wait.
And then I asked him, why would I be a part of a deal and let some other woman know what I've been selling for? Like, for real.
No, you wrong.
You didn't say that?
I did tell him that.
Man, you got that Paul Bunyan axe. It's sharp on both ends. It ain't just
I'm just saying, I can swing it in direction.
Don't forget where you at.
Listen, why would I sit back and let you disappoint both of us?
Doc, pull up Mika Baldwin's comment. We're gonna start right there. She says, Mika says, not cool water. She said, I have to stop folding these clothes.
Girl, cool water.
And Mr. Gilliard was right.
Because I'm out.
He said, at least he still smell good.
Shut up, Mr. Gilliard. Shit. Move on.
Grace says, oh Lord. I believe that's right. She said, Mr. Gilliard said, good Lord.
Let me quit. I'm just gonna be quiet for the rest of it. Let me look over here. Y'all keep talking. I'm just
I'm at a loss.
Listen, it's who am I to stop? Who am I to stop you? That's your perspective and your story, so we shall
actually
let it ride.
Have seen people lose weight and get funny acting with the person
they get funny
when they was fat. Now that is a thing.
So we're laughing, but there's
It's the
definitely
truth.
a essence of truth in that.
Yeah. They
And then,
get stank. They get funny acting.
I just hope whoever, I hope it never happens to you again, Keisha, but whoever it happens to, bless their heart, because they're gonna get a good dose of reality.
please don't bring your stinking ass over here. Yes, they have hit a nerve, Mr. Gilliard. I'm sorry, sir. But honey, yeah, don't bring your stinking ass over here. That's why I'm moving on.
Yeah, we have, that happens. That happens.
Let's talk about something else, because the nerve has been hit. I'm sorry.
So, Doc, I always come to you because you have such great clinical knowledge and
I got nothing on that. Kick them
So,
to the curb.
no,
Shay
no,
don't want them either.
No, not on that one. But we have about 10 minutes left. So, I've heard people get envy and jealousy confused.
What's the difference?
Well, that's what I was
the same thing.
That's what
I thought they were the same thing too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I think no, jealousy is definitely it's the emotional response. It's based off of that fear of losing something, like we said, where I think envy is more of, it deals with the insecurities. I think insecurities comes to play for both of them, but with envy, it is more based off of their wanting something. It's
okay. So envy is when I want what you got. Jealousy is when I'm scared you're going to take what I have. You right.
Yeah.
Yes. He stank because he don't wear cool water. He stank because he stank.
But I think cool water stink though. But now
it does stink. Smell like shit.
My bad. It don't stink because he didn't pull somebody with that cool water. But anyway.
And he was a slut.
Wow.
I thought you was gonna say skeezer, and I was gonna die laughing because I personally love the word skeezer.
Girl, she was a skeezer. She was a skeezer. She was scandalous. She was a low down dirt shot, and she was a slut. And I said, I can't believe you fell for the old banana in the tailpipe when you got with that bitch.
Well, he had multiple opportunities. I think he had to just take what he could, Because I mean, Axe ain't that high of a climb. I'm just saying, but nevertheless, I digress. So I'm gonna be quiet the rest of the show. I thought there would be more, more of levity on that the jealousy versus envy, because it seems like I think there is a lot of confusion between that. But I think you summed up what I was trying to convey on what the differences are on that. But I think we kind of came to a conclusion on, I really appreciate a lot of the feedback. You gave some really detailed elements of really identifying like jealousy.
I can't stand you. You be quiet.
You play all day.
I know.
Oh my God.
This is you say, Axe, all right.
When you in a rush.
Axe, all right, when you in a rush. Hey, I stand corrected. You got to have something. I mean, anything better than a blank, because I had one old OG tell me one time. He said, man, anything better than a blank. So, but I just like, sometimes I have to go with my natural pheromones. They work better than anything.
His natural pheromone.
He said it. Okay, he said natural. He's just out here pheromoning.
So in other words, my scent.
He just out here spreading his scent around.
I reckon. I'm gonna tell you that if he had done this like coordinator something, I probably would have had the whole screen would have just went black. You wouldn't see me no more for the rest of the night.
Oh my God.
Listen, that's too much. But as I was saying, like as we were talking about jealousy, I think we really realized that it's rooted in fear. So if we had to have some takeaways, jealousy is really rooted in our fears, and I think more in low self-esteem. So, and then we also identified that jealousy can have some positive connotations to it, to a sense. I think everything is healthy and balanced. So, if you have pride in something and you want to protect it and keep it safe, then there may be some like, hey, what's going on? But I think it depends on the extenuating stimuli that'll bring out bring out the healthy jealousy. Like if somebody's overstepping their bounds, or even if your mate, and Doc brought this up, if your mate is stepping out of bounds, then the remedy would be to just kind of have that conversation like, hey, this makes me feel this way. And then maybe explore further on why it makes you feel that way. Because I think in that one, you're notifying your partner, you're communicating with them, and then two, you can maybe identify some things within yourself. So I think those are some key elements to pull away. I think at the end, we know that jealousy is probably not a healthy emotion to be displaying. If you find yourself in a relationship with someone who choke slams people in the middle of the aisles, and when you tell them please don't do so, they be like, "What? Why you take it up for this dude? You like him or something?" Then we know that's a red flag, and we probably do not need to proceed in such a way. Also, if they are setting you up, having people call and try to date you to see if you will go forward, and then speed up on the trucks, we don't want to do that. If we don't want people circling our apartments and going up and down our streets because we don't answer the phone, for an extended period of time. And, I haven't had any crazy situations happen to me.
We don't believe that, but let's hit this comment. We don't believe that.
Okay. Grace says, actually, when I lost weight, my ex-husband started really tripping.
I heard about that on like the 600-pound life.
When
the big four lose weight, and they always have a man.
That's what I'm saying.
I thought if I can just find me something. I mean, like,
eat the honey bun, sis.
Girl, I had two today.
Let's keep it real. None of y'all would want none of the men that's with none of them women.
They got a man.
They be cooking, they be cleaning,
they be wiping them and everything. Yeah. They be putting them in the van.
They fold. Yeah, I want somebody that's gonna have.
That's the most low self-esteem, most insecure man. If you want to see insecurity and low self-esteem manifested, go to my 600-pound life, see the participants that are female and the men that date them.
I don't believe it.
I said it.
Your people
I know
this is gonna go out,
and they can call me. I would be happy to have a conversation. I'm not here. No, I'm not trying to convince you of anything. If you don't believe what I'm saying is not correct, then call me, give me the facts and information, and convince me otherwise.
But them men be putting them big ass women to bed. They rub on them.
They be scrambling.
I don't know what episode y'all saw.
And then them big ass women be having kids for them men too. You can't tell me, that ain't love, or them bros ain't got no low self-esteem.
Man, that's dysfunction.
They just slap it.
He ain't getting none either.
They slap her thigh.
They do be doing
it.
Okay. Not in no 600.
Yes, they do. Oh my gosh, yes, they do. They be doing it because then they be having babies.
Yep. Because
anybody, that was years ago when they was about 300 pounds lighter.
No, anybody can get it in doggy style.
Thank you, Into the Bench Media. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, Into the Bench Media. But that woman bent over
at 600 pounds,
and put all that ass in the air. Boom! Hey, twerk it, baby, twerk some, shake some.
Man, y'all not gonna sell that. Y'all not gonna sell that. That ain't right. That ain't. I can't.
I'm so.
But look, them big ass women be getting them men. It be some little bitty men too. They be lifting them up, putting them in the car.
Mr. J. Gillies, what did he say?
Matter of fact,
you missed it. So let me go back.
He said, matter of fact.
So
he wasn't even talking to us. Never mind.
He was, and then he hit this. Then he said this.
Oh, you were trying to go by. I'm glad I looked.
Yeah, you were trying to go by.
Skip it. Hold up. No, come on, man. We out here now. Gotta let it ride.
Anyway,
no, thank you. Say everybody, we down to the end of our time. We've had a really great time. Thank you so much in the comments. Like we said, this is the perspective. So we joke a lot. No offense meant to anyone. So hopefully you pulled something, took something away from this. You became better. So if you got questions, definitely hit up LatoyaTheTherapist.com. If you really want to, if you want to share that with someone, if you feel like you can get some additional feedback from her. Other than that, myself, my co-host, we thank you for being here, and we see you next week.
Follow us on IG. Follow us on IG.
Just follow us anywhere.
We're trying to build our IG. Follow us, Perspective Pod on Instagram.
And next time, if I'm on here and I have this hat on and y'all see my forehead this big, please say something. All right, we love y'all. Peace, love, and Afro Grease.
All right, bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.